What's up, YouTube? So the dash is in. As you can see here, got the steering wheel and the gauge cluster in as well. Whew. So again, based off my last video, you can tell this is kind of like the hardest part. You have to kind of go back and forth on it. Show you the dash gap here. So this is what people refer to as a dash gap. I probably could have done a little bit of a better job. This you don't have to worry about down here because this is where the glove box will go over, so you're not going to see this. This right here is the gap. So you're not really going to see past like here, just because that's where the pillar will be. So you're going to have a little bit of a gap. You can maybe get that better, but you're always going to have like just a minor one. Again, so it's going to be like from here down, so you'll see. So it'll look like that. So again, not terrible. I think it looks pretty good. And the other thing that you have to do is, so I showed you how to set up the dash beam. You got to bash it. You got to change some screws, and the dash will go on. But the mounting points in the back aren't the same. So you have mounting points that are about right here and over there. You're actually, to fit the dash in, you have to cut the mounting points off. And they're actually right here. So what you have to do, and this is what I do, is use a screw, like a metal screw. Screw that can go into metal, and then I just had a bracket, and so that bracket kind of holds the dash down, kind of catches and pulls it down, and now the dash will not go anywhere. Like, it's probably in sturdier than yeah, it won't go anywhere. It's probably in sturdier than when it is, you know, in a GD. So yeah, and then I'll put this on. This piece will fit in. Obviously, you're not going to see those brackets. So that piece will fit over there. Let's see if I can get this on with one hand. Let's see. So close. Don't want to break it. I'll put that on a little bit later. It was just on. I took it off to show those brackets. But I don't want to break it trying to put it on here. There we go. Okay. So now that's on. See no real gaps there. Looks good. Comes pretty flush up against it. Again, yeah, I put the vent system in. And then, as you can see, the wiring I started as well. So I just had like a sea of wires. So like a big glob of wires. And they basically run around in like an L, possibly a square. So once you find a certain section, you know where that goes. Like, I just, again, because I just had a ball of wires, I saw the ECU and I knew that went right here. And then I kind of ran everything based off of that. I knew that, you know, the e-brake lines were right there. I knew that this side impact airbag was on this side right here. We won't be putting that in because this doesn't have room for a side impact airbag. And then the other side impact airbag over there. And you can see it kind of lines its way back. That's how you hook in the taillights and the fuel pump controller back there. And the majority of the wires are underneath. I'll go on the other side. Okay. So the majority are right here. See, the pedals are in. Steering wheel's in, and I hooked those up. This is all going to be for the radio and the AC controls. So really just got to hook this stuff up, like just kind of mount it, if you will. This is already hooked up. Just got it. This goes like, this piece goes way up there. But before I do that, I got to take out the fuel lines. And I can't take out the fuel lines. Well, I mean, I could take them out, but I need the other fuel lines, so I'm just waiting to take those fuel lines out. So you can see the brake booster and master cylinder are in. And again, that's how that looks. Again, I broke that. Don't be like me. I kind of pried it up. I should have pried it from the bottom, moved it from the bottom as opposed to sticking in the large hole and prying up. Okay. This is what I have out here. Again, this is all GC stuff or GF stuff. The gas tank was fun because it was full of fuel, and I didn't know it was full of fuel because I started this without, and I didn't remember where the fuel gauge was, so I just took it down and it leaked fuel everywhere, like probably like 4 or 5 gallons of fuel. There's still like a lot of fuel in there, so apparently it was full, and there's no real drain plug on it, so you have to kind of run it to do it, so I was already screwed. I may be using these bushings at the very least again, maybe the control arms and maybe the hubs as well. I'll have to look at the hubs that we have. Old transmission. I'm definitely going to be reusing this, and this is the old Gf8 subframe, and I'll show you why. So this is the donor again. Got the rear end out today. And I realized with the rear end, it was in an accident of some kind, because here are the coilovers. And if you look, the coilovers, this one looks straight. This one is bent to hell. And it fit the hub fine. So I don't know if the frame was bent or the subframe's bent, but something's bent besides that coilover, because the coilover kind of adapted to the hub, and the hub's cast iron. It's not really going to bend. I don't think so. I probably won't be reusing this subframe. I'm going to be using that subframe and the T brace here as well. I'll be reusing my old one, just to err on the side of caution. I'll use the diff. Obviously, the diff isn't going to be bad. The next step is going to be removing the gas tank. And what's cool about this gas tank is very few have this. Very few. So you can see right there, there's a drain plug. And right here, drain plug. Right there. Which is awesome, because I don't remember how much fuel was in this. I think it was a small amount. But I've never seen a Subaru with drain plugs on the bottom. Apparently, I looked it up. It's extremely rare. It's not really based off a year or anything like that. Because the older models didn't have it, and the newer models don't either. So it's just kind of it's kind of the luck of the draw, and I guess I lucked out on that. So next step is the gas tank. The interior is stripped on that car, so what I may end up doing is, after the gas tank, just pulling the motor and the transmission together. So she's sleeping soundly right now. But yeah, that's probably the next step. Is pulling out the motor, or the gas tank, and then the motor and the transmission. I'm hoping I can do that in one go. And then once I pull that out, I also have to take out the subframe, because I need a turbo cross member to sit on. It's the interior of the car. Again, pretty much nothing left. Maybe just that ECU mount up front, a couple of cigarette butts from the past owner, and then the shifter. All right, so that's what we have at this point. Trying to update as I go. It's hard for me to modify or install while I'm recording, so sometimes I do it afterwards. But I'll keep you guys posted.